This is exercise 2.2, set up the TDOT recommended user interface. In this exercise, we will create the new ORD file and go through the steps to set up the user interface as recommended by TDOT. So go ahead and launch RDWYII 2022 Release 1 and make sure that the TDOT Standards workspace is active. If you had previously copied over your work set from the Fundamentals ORD training to the correct location, then you can skip a few steps. If not, we are going to go through the steps to create the work set. And we will be using the same work set for the duration of this manual. But please note, if you are copying over your work set, make sure that you copy the work set folder as well as the corresponding CFG and DGNWS files as well. The software should default to the Roadway template work set. Click on the drop-down menu and select Create Workset. The Create Workset dialog will appear. Type in the name 123456.00_initials. Select the Roadway template as the template. This will set up the correct sheet index folders per the TDOT Roadway project standards, and leave the Create Folders Only option unchecked, and then click OK. You will see a cloning workset window pop up. And notice your new project workset is now populated. Let's now fill in the applicable workset properties. So go ahead and open up the Properties pull-down menu and select Advanced Properties. So enter in the federal project number as F123456.00 and the state project number as S123456.00. Now that we have created a workset, the applicable project folders have been created on the C drive. So that we can go ahead and move the provided class files to the correct location. So here is my workset folder. I'm going to go into the workset we created and then into the DGN folder. And this is where I am going to move the class files. So here are the class files I downloaded from the website. I'm just going to select all of them, copy, and then paste them into the DGN folder. Now we're going to create a new file and name it User Interface Preferences, and be sure to select the TDOT seed 2D seed file and click Save. So once your file opens up, in the upper left corner, make sure that the workflow is set to Open Roads Modeling if it's not already active. Now that the Open Roads Modeling workflow is active, we will set up the recommended TDOT user interface, which will ultimately assist in a more efficient modeling efforts throughout the manual. First, let's make sure that the Explorer tool is docked and pinned on the left side of the screen. This tool can be found under Open Roads Modeling, Home, and then Primary. And it should automatically default to this location once it is open. To unpin the Explorer but keep it docked on the left side of the screen, click the Unpin icon in the upper right corner of the Explorer header. This will allow you to have a larger visible drawing window. However, it is recommended that the Explorer stay pinned and fully visible during the modeling processes. Next, we can go ahead and open the Properties tool. It's located under Open Roads Modeling, Home, and Primary. By default, it should dock and pin to either side of your screen. If it doesn't, just move the location of the box by left-clicking and holding the gray Properties header, then drag it to the pin box on the right side of the screen and release. You'll also notice that there are some pin boxes in the middle of the screen, which will also work to pin the tools to the left and right sides. Now let's pin the attributes to all tabs and workflows as opposed to just the Home tab. Right-click within the attributes in the ribbon and select Pin Unpin Group, and then Pin to all workflows. Go ahead and pin the primary tool group to all tabs or workflows using the same method from the previous step. Now that the large primary group is pinned to every tab, you can remove the simplified primary group that was in most of the other tabs by default. Right-click on any tool group and select Customize Ribbon. Within the Customize Ribbon window, go to the Customize the Ribbon section and right-click on Primary, which is under OpenRoads Modeling, Geometry, and select to remove. Notice that the folder is now marked out, indicating that the simplified primary tool group has been removed from the Geometry tab. Go ahead and click Apply and then close the Customize Ribbon window. Click on the Geometry tab and notice only one primary tool group is shown. You can apply this removal to other tabs if desired, but for now we're just going to leave the simplified properties shown on the other tabs. Next, open up the Feature Definition toolbar, which is located under OpenRoads Modeling, Geometry, General Tools, and then Standards. Left-click and drag the toolbar below the main ribbon to dock it. This tool, as well as others, can also be located by using the search ribbon in the upper right corner of the screen. Now open the Civil AccuDraw tool, which is under OpenRoads Modeling, Geometry, General Tools, and then Civil Toggles. Left-click and drag next to the Feature Definition toolbar to dock it. The Snap Mode toolbar should be docked by default at the bottom of the screen. If not, you can switch to the drawing workflow and access it under Drawing, Drawing Aids, and Snaps, or by searching for it in the search ribbon. So go ahead and dock it at the bottom of the screen by left-clicking and dragging the toolbar. Toggle on the Parallel Snap option within the Snap Mode by right-clicking within the toolbar. Then if you switch to the drawing workflow in the previous step, go ahead and switch back to the OpenRoads Modeling workflow and open up the Toggle AccuDraw tool, which is located under OpenRoads Modeling, Geometry, Primary, and then More. Then left-click and drag next to the Snap Mode toolbar at the bottom of the screen. And please note that the toolbar will disappear if the AccuDraw is toggled off and then reappear if it's turned back on. Lastly, open the Key In tool under OpenRoads Modeling, Geometry, Primary, and More, and then left-click and drag next to the AccuDraw toolbar at the bottom of the screen. And this concludes exercise 2.2, set up the TDOT recommended user interface.